the arrival across the galaxy, on a world of shining towers and glowing skies, ruled the alien king. He was feared by his enemies, respected by his people, and obeyed by countless stars. His throne was carved from crystal stone, his crown made of energy that pulsed like lightning. No ruler was greater, no empire more powerful. But for all his strength, the alien king carried a hunger inside him, a desire for gifts that showed true respect. He loved rare treasures, strange wonders, and things no other king possessed. Every year, suitors and envoys from faraway planets came to his court. They brought ships of silver, weapons of fire, and jewels brighter than suns. The alien king would smile, accept their treasures, and boast of his greatness. But in truth, his heart was often bored, for he had seen such things many times before. Nothing truly surprised him anymore. Nothing felt new. One day, a whisper spread across the court. A human was coming. The alien nobles laughed when they heard it. Humans were weak, they said. Simple creatures of a small blue planet. What could such a being possibly offer to the alien king? Some expected him to bring trinkets. Others thought he would beg for protection. But curiosity filled the palace, for no human had ever stood in the king's hall before. The day arrived. The great doors of the crystal throne room opened. The alien king sat high upon his throne, his eyes glowing with power. Around him stood alien nobles with faces strange and colorful, their whispers buzzing like insects. The guards stepped aside, and into the hall walked the human. He was not dressed in shining armor, nor did he carry weapons of war. Behind him, walking with calm grace, was a creature unlike anything the aliens had seen. It was a white horse, tall and proud, its mane shining like threads of silver. Its hooves struck the crystal floor with gentle sound. Its dark eyes calm but filled with fire. The nobles gasped, some laughed louder. A beast, one shouted. He brings an animal, as a gift. Others sneered. What foolishness, does he think our king collects pets? But the alien king did not laugh. His sharp eyes focused on the horse. There was something about it, something pure, something royal. The human stepped forward, his voice steady. Great king, he said, I have traveled far, not with jewels or weapons, but with a gift no alien has seen. This is a royal horse of my world, a companion of kings, a symbol of honor, strength, and loyalty. The hall shook with laughter again. Aliens mocking, what can such a creature do? It has no fire, no wings, no power, they said. But the alien king raised his hand, silencing them. His gaze remained on the horse, its white coat shining under the palace lights. He felt something stir inside him, a memory he did not know he had. The horse snorted softly, its breath glowing in the air. It stepped forward, unafraid of the towering king. The king leaned slightly on his throne, his voice low but curious. Human, you bring me no machines, no weapons, only this animal. Why should I accept it? The human bowed. Because, mighty king, not all gifts are measured in power. This horse is a friend to those who ride it, a protector in battle, and a symbol of nobility. It carries not just weight, but trust. It does not serve for greed, but for loyalty. This, I believe, is a gift worthy of a king. The hall fell silent, the words echoing like thunder. The nobles frowned, for they did not understand. To them, power meant lasers, armies, and endless treasures. But the alien king's eyes narrowed. He was not so sure. There was something strange about the horse, something more than muscle and bone. It stood proud and calm even before his throne, as if it feared nothing, not even him. The king rose slowly, his tall form casting a shadow over the hall. He descended the steps of his throne, each movement heavy with authority. The nobles bowed their heads, silent in awe. The king stopped before the horse, his glowing eyes meeting the animal's dark gaze. For a long moment, neither moved. The hall held its breath. Then the horse lowered its head slightly, not in fear, but in respect. The alien king's lips curved, just barely, into the ghost of a smile. He placed his hand upon its mane, the silver threads flowing between his fingers. The horse did not flinch. It stood steady, strong, loyal. The king turned to the human, his voice deep. You are bold to bring me such a gift. I do not yet know if it is foolish or wise, but you have my attention, and few can claim such a thing. The human bowed once more. Great king, this is only the beginning. This horse will show you what no jewel, no weapon, no machine ever can. The alien king's eyes gleamed, part challenge, part curiosity. The hall buzzed with whispers. For the first time in many years, The alien king felt something new: suspense, and so, the story of the human's gift began. A story that would shake the court, test the king, and reveal truths no alien had ever known. The trial of the horse. The alien king returned to his throne, his eyes still fixed on the white horse. The hall buzzed with voices, nobles and warriors whispering in disbelief. Some mocked the human, calling him a fool, while others watched the horse with unease. It was only an animal, they thought, yet it stood with a pride that unsettled even the bravest. The king raised his hand, and silence spread through the crystal hall. His voice echoed, deep and commanding. Human, if this horse is truly a gift worthy of a king, then let it be tested. For nothing in my court is accepted without a trial. The nobles cheered, eager to see the animal fail. The human bowed, his voice calm. As you wish, mighty king, the horse will prove itself. The king ordered the guards to prepare the arena, a vast ground outside the palace, surrounded by high crystal walls, where warriors often trained. The crowd filled the seats, aliens of many forms gathering to see the spectacle. The human led the horse into the center, the alien king watching from his throne above. The first trial was strength. The king signaled, and massive stones were rolled into the arena, heavy as mountains. Let the beast move these, the king declared. If it cannot, then it is nothing more than a pet. The crowd roared with laughter, but the human whispered into the horse's ear, stroking its mane gently. The horse stepped forward, its muscles rippling under its white coat. With calm power, it pushed against the stone, its hooves striking the ground. Slowly, the massive rock shifted, rolling across the arena floor. Gasps rose from the crowd, the laughter fading into silence. The alien king leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. This was no ordinary beast. The second trial was speed. The king commanded his fastest alien beasts, creatures with legs like blades and bodies made for running. Let the horse race them, he said. If it is slower, then it is unworthy. The gates opened, and the beasts screeched, their claws digging into the ground. The horse lowered its head, the human's hand resting calmly on its neck. Then, the race began. The ground trembling under the pounding of feet, the alien beasts leaped forward, their speed terrifying, but the horse ran with grace, its mane flowing like silver fire. Step by step, it matched them, then passed them, crossing the finish line first. The crowd erupted in shock, the nobles unable to believe their eyes. The alien king's lips tightened, hiding the flicker of surprise in his gaze. The third trial was courage. The king ordered a great beast to be released, a monster from the outer void. It had scales like armor and eyes that burned with rage. The crowd cheered, sure the horse would panic and flee. But when the gates opened, the monster roared, shaking the ground. The horse stood still, its body tense but unbroken. It did not run, it did not bow, it stared at the beast with fearless eyes. The human stood beside it, calm and steady. The monster charged, the crowd screaming. At the last moment, the horse reared high, striking the air with its hooves. Its cry rang out like thunder, strong and pure. The monster froze, startled, its charge broken. The horse landed, steady as a mountain, its gaze unshaken. The arena fell silent, only the sound of the horse's breath filling the air. The alien king rose from his throne, his cloak flowing behind him. He stared at the horse, then at the human. His voice slow and heavy, strength, speed, and courage. Your beast has shown them all. But tell me, human, why should I accept such trials as proof? These are the qualities of warriors, not gifts, fit for a king. The human stepped forward, his voice strong, because, mighty king, a jewel can break, a weapon can rust, an army can betray, but loyalty, courage, and honor cannot be destroyed. This horse is not just an animal, it is a symbol, a reminder of what true greatness is. The crowd murmured. Divided between disbelief and respect, the nobles scowled, angry that a human dared to teach wisdom in their court. But the alien king did not speak at once. He only stared at the horse. For the first time in many years, he felt challenged not by armies or princes, but by a gift. The white horse lowered its head once more, calm and proud. The king's eyes narrowed, but deep inside, a spark of curiosity burned brighter. The alien king raised his staff, his voice echoing across the arena. One more trial remains, the greatest of all. If this horse can face it, then I shall know its worth. The human nodded, his hand on the horse's mane. What is this trial, mighty king? He asked. The king's voice thundered, a journey into the dark lands, where no light survives and no beast returns. If your horse can carry you through and return alive, then and only then shall I accept your gift." The crowd gasped, for no one had ever survived the Darklands. The human looked at the horse, and the horse looked back, its dark eyes steady. The human smiled faintly, whispering, "Then our true test begins." And so, the king's final challenge was declared, a trial that would decide not only the fate of a gift, but the fate of trust between human and alien. The journey into the Darklands, the alien king's words echoed across the arena. The Darklands, a cursed place beyond the glowing forests and crystal mountains, feared even by the bravest warriors. It was said no light could survive there, no beast could return, and no soul could remain sane. The crowd whispered in fear and excitement, sure that the human and his white horse would never return. The human bowed before the king, his voice calm, "As you command, mighty king, we shall face the Darklands." The horse snorted softly, its eyes calm and unafraid, as if it understood the challenge. The alien king returned to his throne, his expression unreadable, but his mind filled with curiosity. Could this human and his strange beast truly survive such a place? The next morning, the human mounted the white horse. The princesses watched from the palace balcony, their hearts filled with secret hope. They had seen many warriors come and go, but none had stood with such courage as this human. The gates opened, and the horse trotted forward, carrying its rider toward the horizon. The crowd followed them with their eyes until they disappeared into the shadows of the land beyond. The journey into the Darklands began. At first, the air grew heavy, the sky dimmed, and the light of the twin suns faded. Soon, only darkness surrounded them, a darkness so thick it swallowed sound and hope. The horse's white coat glowed faintly, like a lantern in the endless night. The human leaned close, whispering, "You are my light, do not stop." And the horse kept walking, steady and fearless. But the Darklands were full of trials. Shadows twisted into shapes of monsters, their eyes glowing red, their bodies made of smoke. They circled the horse, whispering lies into the human's ears. "You will fail. You will die. You are nothing." The voices hissed. The human gripped the horse's mane tighter, his heart shaking but not breaking. He whispered again, "We do not listen to lies. We ride forward." The horse reared, striking the ground, and the shadows scattered into the void. The second trial was despair. A great valley opened before them, filled with skeletons of warriors who had entered before and never returned. The air was cold, the silence crushing. The human's heart grew heavy, doubts pressing into his mind, but the horse pressed on, its hooves steady, carrying him across the valley of death. Each step was a promise, each breath was hope. By the time they reached the other side, the human felt his courage return. The final trial was the void itself, a place where gravity twisted, where time slowed, where nothing seemed real. The horse stumbled, its strength fading. The human nearly fell from its back. For a moment, he thought they would both be swallowed by the endless dark. But then he remembered the words he had spoken to the king. Not all gifts are power. Some are loyalty, some are trust. He leaned forward, resting his head on the horse's neck, whispering, "You are not just a beast, you are my companion. Together we will not fall." The horse neighed, its voice breaking the silence. Its body glowed brighter, white light spreading across the void. Step by step, it carried the human out of the endless dark, until finally, a glow appeared ahead, the light of the living lands. They had crossed the Darklands, where no one else had survived. When they returned to the palace, the crowd could not believe their eyes. The human rode proudly, the horse shining like a star, its mane glowing with silver fire. The alien king rose from his throne, his eyes wide for the first time in many years. The hall was silent, every noble and warrior staring in awe. The human dismounted, bowing deeply, "Mighty king, the trial is complete. The horse has carried me through darkness and despair, and returned with light." The alien king stepped forward, his hand resting on the horse's mane once more. He looked into its dark eyes, and for a moment, he felt respect, not just for the beast, but for the human who believed in it. The king's voice thundered, but this time not with anger, strength, speed, courage, and loyalty. "These are not the treasures of machines, but the treasures of kings. Human, your gift is greater than all jewels, greater than all weapons, for it has reminded me of honor." The hall erupted in cheers, the nobles bowing, the princesses smiling with joy. The alien king declared, "This horse shall be mine, but your name shall live in my court forever." For you, a human, have given me a gift beyond measure. The human bowed, his heart steady. He knew he had not just offered a horse, but a lesson, and in that moment, a bond was formed between human and alien, a bond built not on power, but on loyalty and trust. And so the tale of the white royal horse spread across galaxies, a story of courage, of gifts, and of a human who dared to walk where no one else could.